And now, Newsbreak presents the May 8th Bell County Tourism Commission meeting from Hometown TV 13 and the big one, 106.3 FM.
And I think probably the first thing to do is have Ms. Ritter talk with the mayor of the town.
Thank you. As you all know, can you hear me? That I had requested of the board to call a special meeting today to be able to hear from everyone involved in this project as concerning the facts regarding the hotel. I know there's a lot of misinformation out there that has been fed about what's going on in things, and I think that it's time that the board look at the entire picture and know all of the facts. From our view, the restaurant tax is a tax that was put on the city of Pineville. We feel like that we should be allowed to use it to promote our area, to not only promote Pineville, but to promote Middlesboro and Bell County. Being a convention center, it's not only going to provide jobs, it's going to provide people to Bell County that are going to be eating in our restaurants, shopping in our stores, buying gas at the service stations, and all the other things while they're here. And I don't think that you could stop and think of a better project to bring to Bell County than this tourist and hotel convention center. We would like for you to consider all of the facts and look at it from our standpoint and look at it for what's best for Bell County. And I think all of you have gotten packets that were delivered with a couple of different opinions that were handed out. But, you know, we're confident that this project is something that is legal. I've heard the question of legalities. We feel like that it is something that is going to help our area and help all of us. I think it will benefit each and every person in this room by providing jobs and all of the things that it will bring with it. But I appreciate you all having this meeting, and I have our attorney here, that's the city attorney, John Gambrell, and the project attorney, Mike Boland. Judge is also here. I think I'll let Mike Boland speak first, and then we'll go from there, and then open the floor for questions, if that's okay with you guys.
That's fine, but now let's keep it within an hour, guys. We got old folks here, can't keep their attention more than an hour.
I agree.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen of the commission, we do appreciate very much having this special call meeting for us. One of the things that I put in your packets and that was the Courier Journal, the Pineville Sun Courier newspaper that actually laid out the history of this. I think most of you know that in 1998, I was given the confidence to be your state representative and allowed to represent you in Frankfurt. It was very nice for me because when I came into office, there was already a list of things that our leaders had thought of doing. And that list of things were very clear things. If you can remember, I came into office in 1990. About 1986, we had a horrible thing happen, and Cypress Coal left us. We lost thousands and thousands of jobs, and we just didn't know where we were going to turn next. So there was a very clear list for us that were representing in Frankfurt to know exactly what we should do. The first and most important thing was to get 25E4 lane, and we were able to get that completed. The second and most important thing was the tunnel, and obviously many people all together worked on the tunnel, and that took many years to get done. But as I said, that project has been the absolute changer and for the century in Bell County. That's going to change our whole area for years to come. And now, because we've got that, we've got all these thousands of cars coming up and down the road. And so the other thing that was wanted was a community college. And of course, as you know, we were able to get a community college here. been rated one of the 10 best community colleges, and it's now here in Middlesboro, and it's a tremendous asset for Bell County for this whole region. And then the next project that the people of Pineville wanted, and this came out of the economic development meeting, was they wanted a conference center and park. They wanted the golf course to be made so you could bring in conferences. The whole idea was to bring conferences to Bell County. Pineville doesn't have a lot of industrial land, so the only thing they could do was work on the tourism, and that's why they call themselves the Gem City of the Mountains, because they have the Mountain Lawn Festival and all that. So what we ended up doing was we put together $10 million, built the conference center. We put together $11 million. The city of Pineville actually put up $1.5 million, and we did the golf course. And then finally, the last phase of that was to bring in a hotel with a convention center, which we finally have. As you can see, most of you have seen it. This will be a 4-story hotel. There'll be 101 rooms. The hotel itself will actually have a wonderful lobby that you'll walk into. There'll be a 100-seat or better dining room, okay? The lounge will actually be in the back. It'll be a lounge pub. So it's not going to be something that's directly in front of people when you come in there, okay? And that will make it nice, because there are people that want to go eat at a nice restaurant that don't want to have a bar around them. This is not going to be like an Applebee's where it's right there. This is going to be a nice area to eat. There's going to be a terrace out back where the waterfall comes off the creek into the Cumberland River. And this terrace will be a wonderful place for weddings, wedding receptions, and then you'll also have, obviously, this 350-seat convention center, which is badly, badly needed, tied in with the convention center in the park. We can finally bring in good-sized conventions. And when I open it up to the judge, he's going to tell you about some conventions that are already looking at coming in if we get this hotel. Finally, one of the things that the judge really asked that we add to this thing was we put a parking area behind the hotel. The reason for this parking area, as you all know, we have tons of ATVs coming in. And those ATVs are now coming in to use the huge new park that's been developed up there. And that all those ATVs are coming by the thousands, and we want to get them to stop here. Well, we've got a place where we can park their trailers. They can park them back here. They can come and stay at the hotel. They can go 7 miles up the road, and they can ride free all day long on one of the greatest riding areas up there. So, you know, we built a $6 million bridge so they can go up there and use the park. So we surely want them to be able to do that. In addition to that, we have an industrial park up there. And the last thing I want to say is this. Out of this, we're looking at probably, because the numbers we have was on a $12 million project. This is a $14.3 million project. We're looking at well over 175 construction jobs for over 2 years. And we're looking at over 120 jobs, of which 80 will be permanent, 40 will be part-time, and those 120 jobs come out to be about 100 jobs. Now that's huge for this area, especially when you start thinking about we're getting ready to lose our coal industry. Everybody knows right now the EPA is cutting down the coal industry. It's about impossible to get a permit. We've just found out, and I'm the chairman of the Regional Industrial Park, we just found out that the power plant that we had planned to come up there, we spent $1 million working on, is not going to be able to get a permit to be able to burn coal. And we're going to lose that power plant up there. And we're going to try to convert it to a gas plant. But that goes from 200 jobs to 20 jobs, because it doesn't take as much to move gas as it does coal. So this area, if we don't do something, we don't do it now, if we don't do something bold, we're going to be a ghost area, folks. We've got to get them to stop. We've got to get them to come off the road. And all together as citizens, I beg you, let's do this. This will be a game changer. This will move us forward. This will enable you all to have the hotel tax That tax will bring you $134,000 if the hotel's full. It won't start off full, we realize that, but we think in 2 years it'll be up to 82%. That'll bring you about $80,000 to $90,000 a year or more. And that'll be a lot of money for you to do the things you want to do. And this will enable us to build a hotel. More than likely, Maurice will end up getting that hotel flagged. Somebody will want to come in and buy it. And if they do, that'll be paid for, and the food tax will be totally available again for the needs that need to be done. And that's what obviously Maurice would want to do, is flag
Who's
it.
Maurice?
Maurice is a developer, he'll be talking here soon.
Oh, okay, I didn't know Maurice.
So at this point, I want to turn it over to the judge.
Well, first, let me say thanks for letting me say anything. Secondly, Mike, naturally, you can see how passionate that he is about this. I've been more engaged in this project over the course of the last month than I have been as my tenure as judge in the last 6 years. You ask why? They have the money now. This is a real, legitimate project. It's not this gentleman's dream. It's not 18 years old anymore where, yeah, it's part of the long-range plan. It's real. It's here today. Follow up on what Mike said, the EPA's killing us. I have them come in my office every day if I'm there. I need a job. Can you help me get a job? All of you all are successful people. You all either are employed, retired. You may not be feeling that in your walk, but I'm telling you, as your county judge, it's going to get worse before it gets better. Now, you folks have an opportunity to make a difference, okay? The 7 of you collectively can have a positive impact on this entire community. Now, I've talked to a lot of you all right, over the course of the last couple of days about this. There are things I want to say today that I'm not going to. I'm going to save them for another day. But the crux of this is that it has been bannered that this is illegal. I'm going to stand here as your county judge and the appointer of 4 of you and tell you this is legal. It's a no-brainer. We need this desperately. You find me anything out there. Somebody said, well, we need a zip line before we need this. Is there anybody here that wants to put in a zip line? We'll help them. We'll help them. We'll do anything we can do to help them. I don't have them coming to me. I don't have anybody coming saying, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that, with the exception of this project. That's all we got going right now. The mayor and I have talked about this extensively. When he served as county judge, he was involved in this same project. I'm not going to speak for him, but you have assembled here 3 or 4 different lawyers that are willing to stand up and tell you and put their license on the line that it's legal. That ought to be enough to go ahead and take care of that issue.
What if you got a legal opinion in the other direction?
Your legal opinion is predicated on bad information, and I'm going to let the lawyers address that. Okay, I'm not a lawyer, but
You have addressed it now.
Pardon?
You have addressed it.
I'm not going to address it as to the legalese.
You have.
Okay?
You said, no matter what, don't worry, it's legal.
All right,
That's what
it
you
is,
said now.
because I have faith in these 3 lawyers, and I know that the KRSs stated in your legal opinion, Tom, are not even the KRSs that apply to this project. Again, let's let Mr. Johnson step up here and explain the legalese to this, okay? Period. I mean, I'm telling you, I have looked at it, I have researched it, I have read their opinions, I've read your opinion, I've spoke with other lawyers. I'm confident that it's legal. So it being illegal, don't let that be the reason.
But if you're liable, if it is.
I'll let him address that. Okay? Bottom line, you have an opportunity to make a difference. Okay? You have that opportunity today. Don't let saber rattling that it might be illegal stop you from making a difference to that. And I'm going to leave it at that, because you said an hour and I could talk for an hour, but I'm going to leave it.
Thank you. Thank you, Judge.
Mayor.
I'm just going to take a minute. I actually was in the background on this whole project. I started with a lot of it and have worked with Mr. Boland, Mr. Johnson, Judge Brock, Mayor Rader, and many others. I was going to stay out of it. I'm here in Middlesboro, and I've got to actually back this part of Middlesboro. But with that being said, folks, today comes down to some legal discussion, and as I say, Mr. Johnson, if he's going to speak, Mr. Gamble, whoever on that part, I'd rather them speak on that part. I will say that I am in 100% support of this project as of now. I have read both opinions. I have called the League of Cities. I have asked them about what opinions we have. They have given me the understanding to feel comfortable about it. The other thing is, folks, we are not going to survive just worrying about one area. We're going to survive by coming together and doing things. And we've got to look at that, folks. We have got to look at that. Whether it's a project in Pineville, project out in the county, or here, I'm going to get on board and support it. Because if we as business people, and if myself as city leader does our job, we're going to get our part out of it somewhere, folks. We have people all the time asking us. I have a family gathering, and the people can tell you here in the hotels, I have a family gathering, and we have a hard time finding rooms a lot of times. There's many a times this area packs up. And the audits we did when I was judge showed there was room for more, and we need to be there and support it. Mine is, as I say, we're talking, and I'm ballparking numbers. I can't swear to any of these, but I think it's close to 80-some thousand in restaurant tax. Is that close, Mayor Ray? Something like 80-some thousand. That bond's about $1.5 million is what that roughly bonds. That is the part they're putting toward this. This is not going to the hotel or in a developer's pocket or nothing. This is part that they're wanting to put toward it and help get it to where it's at. Folks, in hotel tax alone, we'll recoup that. We'll recoup that if you look at the numbers. And we need to look at that hard, because if we're going to expand, there's only one way to expand. I'm sorry, two ways. One, Judge Brock and I don't want to talk about, and that's raising taxes regular. We'd rather not talk about that.
No.
The other is generating revenue through projects and all. So as Mayor of Middlesboro, I'm stepping out wide. I don't know how many constituents I'll have one way or the other, but I'm going to tell you this is a good project. We're in support of it. I've spoken to most of my council. They've all been in support. I've not had one person against it. I've had two I've not spoke to, but I haven't had one against it yet. So as I say, we are in. I do believe it is something you can do. And as I say, the restaurant tax is something we need to come together as this board and everyone else and support hard to expand that throughout the state. And if we'll do that, our area can grow. Our area can grow. But we need this board now to step up now and look at doing this project. And then also step up with me next year, because I'm going to be out there with legislation every week. And we want support to try to get this restaurant tax expanded upon, where Middlesboro can bring it in, where Pineville can bring it in, where all our other communities. Because this was the #1 market for the Kentucky League of Cities. I took a seat on their board for one reason, and that's to push this, because it's #1 to us too. So let's work together, consider it that way. I know every one of them. I don't think anybody will do anything their heart doesn't believe, and that's all I'm asking. Please do.
We'll let City Attorney John Gamble come up and speak next. He also has formed an opinion on this, and like I said, I know all of you all want to be able to see something yourself in black and white, and so I asked him if he would put something in writing, and he's willing to put his name on it with his responses. If we didn't get it over to you sooner, he just got it finished, I think, this morning. But anything that they're willing to stand behind with their signature is something that they believe in, and this project is something that not only he but the rest of us believe in. We've got many opinions from many different sources, and they all are the same opinion, that this is a good project and that it is a legal project. This restaurant tax was put there for this purpose, for not only the golf course, but for, the ongoing progress of the park project. And I'll be quiet, I know time is limited. I'll turn it over to John.
Real briefly,
Gamble.
I'm John Gamble, and I was asked to respond to the legal opinion that was provided by the Tourism Commission. I wasn't asked as a city attorney, but I responded, this is very important, I responded as a private attorney. And I felt so strongly about the opinion that I responded privately, and that's putting my malpractice insurance on the line. I don't have any problem whatsoever with the opinion that I've written, and it basically says that tax can be directed and pledged for this project. And there's nothing wrong whatsoever with that. So I've provided a copy of that for each citizen. I don't really want to discuss the details with it. I think I'm going to leave that to Mr. Johnson. But again, I responded as a private attorney. I felt very strongly about this. I have been involved in this project for at least 4 years now. And I think it is a really good opportunity for Bell County to do a good thing. That's it.
Well, nobody knows me, but they said my name several times here today. My name's Gil Johnson, and I'm a bond lawyer. And what's a bond lawyer? Well, I'm a member of the National Association of Bond Lawyers, and I'm one of the few lawyers in Kentucky that's authorized to issue the type of opinions relating to the validity and authorization of bonds, such as what is proposed to finance this hotel. It's a $14.3 million project, and when I saw the opinion that was provided by the McBrayer Law Firm, a very qualified law firm. I know most of the people there quite well. In fact, I've done their bond projects and given them opinions for their clients, municipalities and counties, on the legality of pledging taxes for the payment of bonds or for the security of bonds. When I was given the opinion, I was somewhat surprised because I think that opinion was based upon statutes that aren't even applicable in this particular situation. But more important, the statute that they referred to authorizes and directs the development of business, tourism, and convention business in any particular area, such as Bell County, Kentucky. And that first sentence of that particular paragraph that was referenced in that McBrayer opinion clearly states that the Tourism Committee has the authority to assist in the financing with the pledge of restaurant and room taxes with respect to hotel developments. It is not a subsidy. That's the first thing I want to say. It's not a subsidy. It's not, this tax dollar is not going to be paid to the developer. It's not.
If it were a subsidy, would it be out against the law?
I'm not really sure it would be against the law because.
So what we're arguing about is the word subsidy.
Well, that was the word that McBrayer firm, and all due respect to the McBrayer firm, seized on, and for some reason thought it was being paid as a subsidy, as something that went directly to a private citizen. No, sir, that's not what's happening. We are issuing the bonds under two particular statutes, Chapter 66 and 103, and I know that's legalese, but the McBrayer law firm addressed only one statute, 58. And in Chapter 103, there's a specific reference. It's KRS 103, I think 300 sub part 1K says that a hotel is a proper project for the pledging of revenues and taxes for bonds. It's in the statute itself and says the word hotel.
But doesn't that also say it's a $400 million project?
No, sir. Again, he's got that wrong. I mean, the project is we're issuing these bonds under what's called the Industrial Development Bond chapter of KRS. And under that particular statute, we can build industrial development bonds. Under the general obligation statute, we can build hotels that would relieve and reduce unemployment in a given area. Those are the statutes that we're going under to issue it. But let me make a comment. I mean, you raised a good question here, you did earlier, and you said, do I have liability if I vote in favor of this particular tax? I'm going to say it right now, absolutely not. And sir, I'm here today to defend that opinion that I gave in this. When the bonds are issued, I am going to be required to issue an opinion to the bondholders, the people that put up $14.3 million. Let me rephrase that. I'm going to be required to give an opinion to the people that put up $14.3 million to invest in this community and tell them that this pledging of the tax and these bonds are authorized valid under Kentucky statutes. I'm putting on the line my malpractice and my reputation. It's what I do for a living. Yes, sir, that's exactly right. That's exactly what I do for a living, and I get compensated for that. But by the same token, I'm not about to do it if I thought it was illegal or unauthorized. And I'm willing to put my name on the bottom line. Now, at the end of the day, there's only one person that's going to do that. That's going to be me. And it's going to be attached to a bond certificate that his investors are going to buy. And I'm not about to put my name out there for something that I don't think, or even is questionable about its legality. And that's why I told the judge and I told the mayor, I'll come down here and defend that today. I will defend that tomorrow. This is just not hyperbole, just trying to convince you of how you ought to vote. It's to address the very question that has been raised here, the legality of the tax. And I said so in my opinion. It was written, and I understand through Mr. Bowling it was made a part of this particular packet that you all received. And a lot of other people are going on the line too, besides myself. Mayor Rader, Judge Brock, Mayor Kelly. These people are standing up, trying to create these jobs in this community. And they turn to people such as myself to make sure that it's structured correctly and it's legal. Will you be sued? No, sir. You will not. There is no standing for anybody to bring a lawsuit against you if you vote.
I got a brother down in Clinton, Tennessee, being sued right now.
Down where?
Down in Clinton, Tennessee, completely.
I don't know anything about Tennessee law,
When
but
you're
I know it
appointed,
doesn't apply in
You know,
Kentucky.
we're not elected, we're appointed,
That's correct.
and we're liable.
No, sir, you are not. So I don't know
Somebody
how.
said we were. you know.
Excuse me?
I'm sorry, we've been told that we are.
Well,
Read that section, Gil, in your opinion that you do.
well, I do think it was disingenuous.
What you do.
You want the whole paragraph, Mike?
Just where you underline and make it clear.
We do not believe any city or county official or commission member will incur any liability for using the tax to assist in the financing of the project. Let me ask you a question. Where's the lawyer that gave your opinion? Where's he?
We can't afford him. We just got an opinion and we didn't ask him to come down.
But you know, these people aren't paying me. I only get paid.
You're here free?
No, sir. I'm here on a contingent, fixed fee basis.
Well, we're here free.
Well, then I'm here free in that regard. I don't know how I answer your question, but I do believe.
We do have a rebuttal. I don't know whether we should read it or what.
I don't know what. I've never seen you rebuttal. So.
You have not?
We just got it.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it funny?
Yeah,
I keep doggone.
It's hilarious to me,
It
pitiful to me.
But
is, it is.
Well, the thing is, you know, we're supposed to be sitting at this table as members of the community that want this community to go forward, to work together, to make what's best of our area. And we appreciate the fact that you guys are doing your job and that you got a legal opinion. And, you know, I'm sure that that opinion is what that attorney believes in. But I, the judge, Mayor Kelly, have all got other opinions. We've sought other attorneys, that we've got, you know, opinions that are totally different, and they far outweigh the one that you have and the references.
How do you mean it outweighs?
Well,
There is
let me say, can I make something real
against
clear?
one.
I mean, we're missing the main point. There's nobody in the repair firm can write bonds. They're not bond lawyers. There's nobody that's a bond lawyer in the repair firm, okay? There's one person that can write bonds, that can certify bonds. It's just like being a patent lawyer, okay? Only a lawyer that's registered to do patents can do patent opinions. Only a person that's a national member of the Bond Society, like Mr. Johnson, can issue bond opinions. His opinion goes with those securities, and his liability stands on there for $14.3 million. McBurr has no skin. If you say no, what's he lost? He's lost nothing, okay? We're the ones that are taking the risk. He's putting the risk up. He's a bond lawyer. That's why you have to have a bond opinion when you're issuing bonds. And he's the one that's gonna do it. McBrayer can't do it. He does it. And that's what we're saying. And the gentleman is putting up his firm, one of the biggest firms in the nation, Steptoe Johnson, and they're putting their firm up and their liability. And McBrayer doesn't have, they're not a nationwide firm. This is a nationwide firm.
Does anybody have any questions of me, Director?
I want to have you elaborate.
All right.
Elaborate on who has standing, kind of take this, dial that down a little bit as to who could sue, who couldn't sue, if anyone could sue. Explain that dynamic that this board, if I understand it right, I may throw it out there and then you mix it up. This board is the only person that could bring any action against itself.
Actually, under statute, you're absolutely correct. Only the Tourism Committee Board is referred to.
You mean
as that authority.
the restaurants and the motels in the area that have collected this tax that's going to be used for a subsidy to start another restaurant and motel, they can't sue us?
No, sir, they can't sue you. And I do think it was wrong to use the word subsidy because that is not it. We are pledging it. No, sir, it's not a subsidy. I mean, I put my...
doggone it, buddy. A subsidy is a subsidy is a subsidy. You paint lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig.
Well,
Right?
The only thing I can say to you, sir, is that no business, no taxpayer, no other hotel, no other motel has any standing or authority to bring a lawsuit against you if you vote for this particular project. Vote in favor of it.
Is there any other place that you know of that is taking a restaurant tax to help whatever you want to, I call it subsidy, whatever you want to call it? Is this the first?
No, sir, I don't think it is the first. There were two
Where
places.
is it? Where else is it?
Well, let me finish. There were two other places that had taxes pledged. One was the city of Ashland, Kentucky, on their project quite a number of years ago. And the other project was down in, I believe it was Christian County, down in the Oak Grove near Fort Campbell, Kentucky. They had
And
not built.
what was the outcome there?
What do you mean with the outcome? There was nobody got sued. Is that what you're asking?
Did they?
What kind of tax did they use to?
Oh, it had to be the restaurant tax, room tax. They used ad valorem taxes and they used occupational taxes.
So it wasn't just the one like this deal?
No, this deal covers all taxes. There's more than just that one. There's more than restaurant tax. There's an ad valorem tax and an occupational.
Now, we're talking about Christian County, I'm talking about Bell County right now.
That's what I was referring to as well.
What other taxes are involved here?
Ad valorem tax would be involved, and if
As
there's...
far as any subsidy for the motel?
Well, there is no subsidy, sir. You can use that word and try to twist those words,
A
but...
subsidy is a subsidy is a subsidy. I'm not twisting words.
No, you are, sir. But what I'm trying to tell you is that there are other taxes. This is a portion of this bond issue will be general obligation. General obligation pledges not only the restaurant tax, but it pledges as well ad valorem tax and any occupational taxes that are assigned to that. So all taxes under Chapter 66 are pledged for.
Clear up another.
Yes, sir. Did I answer your other
Now,
question?
is that clear?
It's totally clear to me it was when I got in here.
If you want.
But I'm not trying to put lipstick on a pig like you are, all right? Okay? What we came in here with is a pristine issue, all right? You're wanting to, it's clear you're against it, Mr. Shattuck, okay? We knew that when we got in
Against
here.
what?
Against this project, okay?
I'm
We knew
not
that when we
against
got
this
here.
project.
You're settling an old score here, or trying to, all right? And I hope that these people see that.
Wow.
Well, hey, it is what it is. You won't put lipstick on a pig, you brought it up, okay? And I'm trying to stand here and be somewhat patient in this deal, but
Well,
it's
be
not a
patient,
subsidy.
buddy.
It's not a subsidy. The room tax isn't being used. It's the restaurant tax that's being collected in Pineville. All right, those are three clear things that are brought out in this, but you don't want to accept that because you're not for it. So just say you're not for it.
I'm not going to say I'm not for it, because it's not true. But don't tell me what I already don't know. I am for any motel. I am for any project.
When you say that right there, they're gonna say, "Mike, can you believe he just said that?"
Then make the motion, Tom. Make the motion to pass it, and then you'll be the guy for it.
I'm sorry?
Make the motion to pass our tax here. You can make it, have somebody second it, and let's vote for it and get it done,
Okay.
if you're for it.
Is everybody spoke that would like to speak?
Is that all? You have no other questions?
Well, hey, I want to do one quick thing before we do that. Out of you people that are standing here right now, how many of you raise your hand are for this? All right? Now, who all's against it? Okay, got one. You're entitled to that. Didn't mean to single you out. I got to make respect for one. Now, you could have done nothing there, but you did.
And I'm against it.
Get her on camera, she's.
Yeah. We understand why. I feel for you.
No, I mean, I can't figure out how you know that the hotel is gonna make it. There's nobody up north in Detroit or wherever, or in the south, that are gonna come in and say, oh, let's go to Pineville, Kentucky, they got a new hotel. That's not gonna bring business in.
But that's not what you're worried about.
May I address that, please?
This is Maurice Ellis, the hotel developer, in case
I think you've raised questions that I'd like to bring some peace and contentment.
And you'll have to do it about every night to
Ma'am.
pay the employees and their insurance or whatever they're gonna pay.
Ma'am, I've developed 13 hotels, all of them are full service.
It's not cities, it's Pineville?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. The first hotel I did was in Wilkesboro, North Carolina. It's a full service hotel. It was very similar to this. There's a difference in a full service hotel and a limited service hotel. A full service hotel, I want to say this loud so everybody can understand it. A full service hotel has other amenities other than just rooms. In our particular case, we've got a 100-seat restaurant, as Mr. Boland pointed out. We've got a lounge. We've got banquet facilities. And the one thing that we do is we have a very expensive commercial kitchen to service all of that. Now, we collect a restaurant and beverage tax. A limited service hotel doesn't have a commercial kitchen. It doesn't have a dining room. It doesn't have a lounge. It doesn't have a huge conference center. So therefore, they're not selling food, they're not collecting any taxes. There's a place in the market for them. There's a place in the market for us. I want to share something with you that a wise man told me. You probably don't know the name or associate the name, Kenneth Wilson. Does anybody know who that was? He was the guy who started Holiday Inns. From day one, he was the originator. When he sold out his interest to the Bass Brothers, he started another chain called Wilson Inns. He contacted me because he wanted me to build and develop something. Excuse me. He made a statement about location, about hotels. He said, if you go down the interstate to any small town, and he made this statement, we made our living in small towns. He said, when you go down the interstate, when you build a hotel on one corner of the interstate, it will struggle to make it work. He said, if you build a hotel on all four corners, they'll all make money. Simple logic. Things that are different in a limited service and a full service hotel is we worked in the marketing aspect. You've got to market a full-service hotel. The thing that's attractive about this is someone raised the point, why would somebody come to little old Pineville to build a hotel? The thing, a blind hog can find acres every now and then. And when I drove down there and Mike Boland showed me the site across from that golf course in the state park, I went back and did some research on the tourism that this area generates. I thought this is a wonderful opportunity. I talked to the people at the state because you can't play golf 12 months out of the year. And I said, what else can we do? Now, when you flag this hotel, like Mike was talking then you bring in a whole national chain of marketing experts. We'll have a marketing department, which is marketing rooms well in advance of people that's just stopping on the highway. But what it will do is help your facility too. Because when we book certain conventions and we book certain golf outings for people from Cincinnati that are coming down here and spending a 4-day weekend, and their vendors are coming in. Like in our situation in Wilkesboro, that's the home of Lowe's Hardware. They needed a full-service hotel, so they brought in vendors. It was a very successful hotel. When you market a hotel, then you're bringing in a lot of people. Hopefully, we won't even have enough rooms for all the people.
But see, you're
The
saying-
other hotels can benefit from that. The other hotels benefit because one, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. That's the way it
Well,
works.
we did that.
Maurice, let's do, because we got the chairman sitting now. Finally, I do want to say this. We had 2 master commissioners that were actually in the hotel business that had to sign off and do the feasibility study. Both of them said this could support a $15.9 million project, okay? That's how these bonds are going to be sold. They're going to be sold because we have a feasibility study that says it's going to work, all right? We don't believe it's going to work because you all don't believe because we've never dreamed of that, all right? But it's time that we started believing and taking a step into the abyss because we can't keep going the way we're going. We can't keep going the way we're going here. We've got to take some bold steps, all right? Our generation wants it, the people here want it. It's time to take that bold step. You're not taking the risk. They're taking the risk. They're taking the risk for $14.3 million. If there's anybody in this room that wants to join with Mr. Elledge right now on this project, you're welcome to join. He and his investors are taking the risk, okay? Let them take the risk. Let them build a $14 million piece of building on a piece of property we're not getting a dime off right now. That property is not paying a dime to Middlesboro, it's not paying a dime to Pineville, it's not paying a dime to the county. But when that building's on it, it will be paying ad valorem tax to Pineville, to Bell County, it'll be paying a lot. So let them build it. If it doesn't work, then that's their problem, okay? We're the ones that at least get the jobs and the manufacturing jobs in the meantime. I just don't understand. This thing is, I'm trying to convince the Tourism Commission to let us have tourism in Bell County. I just can't believe it.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I would like to mention.
I wanted to say before we start that, I just want to make sure that everybody understands the only thing we're asking for is to use our own restaurant tax money and be allowed to use it for this project. The Tourism Commission will get the hotel tax regardless of the restaurant tax or anything else. To make sure that the board understands that you will get anywhere, probably if the hotel is half booked, you will get $70,000 a year approximately. If it is full, you'll get $140,000. So that money goes directly to the Tourism Commission to promote Bell County in whatever way that you choose, to do that. And it's your money to do with it as you see fit. We simply want to use the money that we generate in Pineville to use for a project in Pineville that will promote Bell County. And we all truly believe it is a Bell County project because when we bring people in, these people will be coming to Middlesboro to eat, to shop, and do all of those things, buying gas along the way, and walking the trails in the state park. They're going to be all over. And I personally think that it's a wonderful project. I don't know how anybody could be against it or why we should even need to ask to promote a project like this. But it is what it is. And before we finish, I think Mayor Kelly has something else he'd like to say. I'd like to give 5 minutes to the floor if there's anybody, if you don't mind, that has questions out in the audience, because I'm not sure who all is back here in case there's something.
Certainly, I think I've tried to make everybody welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
We are sort of 15 more minutes, Bill.
Well, we've got 15 minutes, but as I say, I think this is too important to just stop a clock on it, but we'll try our best to be there on it. One thing, there was a question asked here.
All I'm doing is
Where is
trying
this?
to
I
stay this
understand,
meeting
I
within an hour.
understand. We were discussing cities that use restaurant taxes, we're discussing projects. I don't know if any of you here know where Williamsburg, Kentucky is. It's not that far from us, folks. It's the most progressive 4th and 5th class city. Rodney Harrison, mayor down there, is a good friend of mine. They've been able to do it. He was willing to sacrifice giving his tourism commission a little mad at him and join the class 3 and 2 cities in trying to put a restaurant tax out there, because he understood the importance of the restaurant tax helping to move the community forward and all. They use it on all their projects. They use it on all kind of projects. Of course, they have to use their occupational, they have to use ad valorem, just like we talked. It all has to be part of it. There's not enough money anywhere. And for any other business or anywhere else, I've had this before. When I spent money to put a sewer line out on 25E to bring pilot in, I had many oil companies come to me locally, raising cane. And I asked them, I said, folks, all this is competition. They're being given the same right everybody else is. Anytime any business is this way, if you'll bring it to Mayor Rader, you bring it to Judge Brock, or you bring it to myself, we'll help put any package together we possibly can. But Williamsburg actually got an award at our banquet for the top 4 and 5 class cities for moving forward. And Rodney told me, he said, Bill, this is one reason I have worked hard in trying to do it. And where it affects them is if it had been passed, right now in the 4th and 5th, all the money just goes to tourism and back out in their situation. He would have been giving that up. His tourism would have only been getting 25%, 75% would have gone to the city, which allows the cities then to bond part of it and stuff. That's the reason it's being looked at. That's the reason the cities are supporting it so hard right now, is it is something that we can all grow with. And if you grow tourism, you will end up growing the rest of your businesses and stuff, folks. That's what it's all about. We need to bring new revenue in. That's the only way we can bring new revenue in, by trying to grow.
Thank you, Ben.
And I will say I appreciate it, and I hope everyone looks at it in a manner that's best for the area and not individual.
Please.
I'd like to speak. My name's John Combs, and sitting here, I promised some people that I wouldn't speak.
Just make it short.
This is important to me, Tom.
I
We've got
understand.
7 years invested in a project in our county, and I'll keep it as short as I can, but I want to say this to the elected officials. I know the project posed some difficulty at time to time, whether they could publicly come out and speak for a project such as this based on the restaurant portion. We've gone through 2 governors, we've gone through 3 mayors, we've gone through other officials, and not one time has the pilot project of a resort hotel to come to Bell County ever been anything else discussed. You hear about this, you hear about that, and I'm the guy that went to the courthouse back 7 years ago and listened to folks talk the negative side, why are you doing this? And I'm not representing political aspect or a legal aspect. It's been a Pineville, Bell County, and Middlesburg. I've got as many employees and spend as much time in Middlesburg as I do Pineville. The tourism board. I know what it's like to have people yesterday from Colorado that spend the night here locally and want to go somewhere and have a dinner that they can't do in Middlesburg. I know what it's like to play Wasioto Winds last Thursday with people from Mexico. Now, representing a business aspect as well as being a native Bell County, other than the legal aspect that I respect anybody for asking a group of attorneys their opinion, but once you get past that, we've got to be a people that look for this opportunity. And I plead with you to vote in a positive manner for this project.
Anyone else can't wait to talk? Okay, just a minute now. Just a short period.
I'm Dr. Dubin, and I stand in favor of this. And let me explain. Harrogate is growing up very quickly. As you know, LMU is buying a lot of property in Cummingdale, Harrogate's gonna grow up, and you need to be part of this, and you need to develop the city yourself. In Middlesbrough and Bell County, I have, as you know, 20 acres of land, 25 acres past the Oasis. It's really the only business, commercial piece of property in Harrogate that will be developed. So I would probably have a conflict of interest to vote negative towards this hotel and restaurant. But I stand here today knowing that it probably will hurt Harrogate to have this in Pineville, but I still stand vigorously in favor of it. I don't use conflicts of interest. I don't use my position to vote against something because I would have, I would have a personal favor of it. Obviously, I would be hurt a little bit by the property development. I do have people coming to me right now, big companies, big corporations that are interested in putting facilities. I can't tell you which ones they are, confidentiality, but I'll tell you, if you put a big hotel over here, there probably won't be a big hotel in Harrogate. And I'm still in favor, strongly in favor of the hotel in Harrogate, in the Pineville.
Anyone else? We're going to have a vote then. Do we have a motion? How do we want to do this?
Are we not privately voting?
No, you have to do.
Well, I'm going to make a motion that we do not make an agreement with Pineville, I'm sorry, for the funding proposal to build the Wasioto Hotel or resorts, that I make a motion that we do not make an agreement.
Do we have a second to that motion?
Make a motion, we make a vote, have a vote.
Okay.
What did you say?
No, I said I make a motion that we vote.
Okay.
You're seconding my motion.
Or not her motion, but she was voted. I guess, are you saying yes or no? I'm saying that we vote.
I'll second.
Maybe. Yeah.
Let's get real clear here now what we're
She's
voting.
got my motion.
You have a motion.
Has there been a second?
Yeah.
No, there's not on hers. No, there has not.
There's not been a second.
There's not been a second.
I'll say that at this point, I don't agree with it. I just-
Jill makes a second. Is that correct, Jill? Any discussion? All in favor of not agreeing to pay the restaurant tax towards the Wasioto project? Vote yes. In favor?
Her motion.
In favor of her motion?
Her motion is to not.
Her motion is to not.
Jill found a second.
And Jill seconded. We have a motion. Are we all in favor? I'm in favor of not.
Yeah, I'll vote not to this time.
You
Judy,
vote not to.
Yeah,
you're with
with
us.
the motion.
Lawrence?
Your motion.
Yeah, I'm following the motion.
Lawrence? What?
I'll follow the motion.
You're in favor?
The favor is, the question, make sure about like they're not
Right.
understanding the way the motion is.
I'm making a motion not to make an agreement with them.
And who's in favor? So,
I'm
Judy?
in favor of not to make an agreement.
Hey,
And let me
Your
finish,
phone-
Albie. Just
Why
let
not?
me
You
finish.
got confusion.
Albie?
It's important. Just clear
It's
it up.
very important,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm just asking you to
Well,
clear it up.
come get us straightened out. Albie.
Thank you.
All right.
What did you say?
All right, one real quick second. All right, she has made a motion, okay, to not fund, not assist Pineville, okay?
The restaurant tax.
To not allow Pineville to use the restaurant tax to service bonds.
Right.
Correct? That's your motion. You are in agreement and have seconded that motion. Okay, so if you don't want to see this motel project happen, okay, then
That's
you
where
would,
you wanna put it.
then you would, well, I mean, you know, in order to.
It
to
can
make
happen without this.
I was gonna
Well,
say,
I know.
how can it happen without this money?
Well, it's just, that's
It's
how it
not
is.
that
going
I'm
forward.
not against the motel. There's
That's
other
right.
things that I have
That's right.
underlying issues with
See,
that I think I'm not ready to
I know,
exactly
we're almost there.
confirm. So that's,
Yeah, but don't
you know,
put that on.
this is a big decision, You know, and right now, I do not have the time to spend any more time on this right now. I want to deliberate at home, you know, on this as well. So it's not, you know, at this point, yes, I'm voting not to use our funds for that. I think if it can work without this bond.
No, it can't.
That's it can, but, you know, again, I appreciate you letting me try to clear it up, because it's important, so I'm gonna totally facilitate, I'm not gonna express my opinion here, okay? I mean, I appreciate you doing it.
So all in favor of
All right, all in favor of not allowing Pineville to use the restaurant tax to service debt, say aye, or show of hands, however you say, Mr. Chair.
Right, that aye. Opposed? The motion carries. Thank you, Albie. And as far as I'm concerned,
I'd like to count. I only saw 3 hands, that means 4 were in favor.
What about the rest?
Me.
What about the other 4?
All right, here to make it. All those that just voted for that motion, please raise your hand high enough so that they can, that you can be identified. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that have opposed it. That, the rest of it's moved.
Okay.
thank you, Albie. Sorry,
You're welcome,
folks.
sir.
Didn't work
You're the
out
one,
the way
sir,
we
you lost the jobs.
While we're out,
See,
I make the motion.
we have a motion.
This has been a Newsbreak presentation from Hometown TV 13 and 106.3 FM, The Big One.